Hi, welcome to Mariel Beads and Beyond. Today I'm going to show you how to make the Spark the Bow bracelet. I already have PDFs and kits available on my website in 5 different colors. I hope you guys like this tutorial. The bracelet is really pretty. I really like it. So I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. The list of materials you're going to need for this tutorial are going to be mini duos. I'm going to be using this color. You're gonna need Swarovski bicons, and I'm gonna be using this color. You're gonna need 15 O's. You're gonna need 11 O's. You're gonna be using True to fire polish. You're going to need a clasp. This is gold field. For thread, you're gonna be using Fireline, and we're gonna need 165 inches. We're gonna be using a needle size 12. And all these materials are available on my website, marielbeadsandbeyond.com. To start, you are going to pick up 3 mini duos, 1 fire polish, 3 mini duos, and 1 fire polish. You are going to bring them all the way down, and you want to leave about 8 inches tail so you can add your clasp. You are going to sew through 3 mini duos, 1 fire polish, and 3 mini duos. You're not gonna sew through the last fire polish, and you are going to pull tight, and this is what you're gonna have. This is the tail of the thread. What you're gonna do is you're gonna pick up 3 15 O's. Your thread is coming out of the bottom hole of the mini duo. You are going to sew up through the second hole, and you are going to pull, and this is what you should have. Before you continue, you are going to thread the tail of the work. Before it gets too crowded, we are going to position this thread so we can add our clasp later. So your thread is coming out of the bottom hole of the mini duo. We are going to sew through the fire polish. We are going to sew through the mini duo, and we are going to sew up through the second hole of the mini duo, and down through 2 seed beads. And you can leave this thread alone. This is the tail. It should be exit out of 2 15 O's, and this is the thread that we're going to work with. We are going to pick up 1 fire polish. Our thread is coming out of this mini duo. We are going to sew through the next mini duo. We are going to pick up 1 fire polish, and we are going to sew through the last mini duo. This is what you should have. You are going to pick up 3 15 O's. We are going to sew through all 3 mini duos. I'm going to sew through 1. To make this bracelet, it gets a little bit hard to sew through the beads. All you have to do is just sew through 1 at a time if you can do it through all. And we are going to sew through the next 2. Okay. and we are going to pull tight. A thread is coming out of the mini duo. We are going to sew through the fire polish and through one mini duo. Your thread is coming out of the bottom hole of the mini duo. We are going to sew up through the second hole. We are going to pick up 3 15-ohs and we are going to sew down through the second hole, and we want to sew through all 3 mini duos. I'm going to flip my work. I'm going to sew through 2. And this is what you should have. I'm going to sew through 1 more. I'm going to pick up 3 15-ohs. Your thread is coming out of the bottom hole of the mini duo. We are going to sew up through the second hole. We are going to pick up 1 fire polish and we are going to sew through the next mini duo. Pick up 1 fire polish and we are going to sew through the next mini duo, and if you can, through 1 seed bead. Your thread is coming out of this 15-oh. We are going to sew through these 2. Your thread is coming out of the 15-oh. We are going to sew through all 3 mini duos. And like I said, you don't have to pass through all 3 at once. We are going to sew through the next 2. And if you can't sew through 2, you can just sew through 1. Your thread is coming out of the bottom hole of the mini duo. We are going to sew up through the fire polish. And we are going to sew through all 3 of the mini duos. This is what you should have. Your thread should be exit out of a mini duo. We are going to sew up through these 3 seed beads. And then we are going to, I flip my work. I'm going to sew up through 1 seed bead the mini duo, and a fire polish. Sometimes you gotta try to sew through all the beads at one time. Sometimes you're not gonna be available, so you just need to figure out how to get through the beads. So this is what you should have right now. You are going to pick up 3 15-ohs. You're gonna skip the mini duo, and you are going to sew through the next fire polish. You are going to pick up 1 11-oh, 1 fire polish, 1 4mm, 1 fire polish, and 1 11-oh. Your thread is coming out of this fire polish. You are going to sew through the fire polish across, not the one in front, on the other side, like this. And we are going to pull and this is what you should have. You are going to pick up 3 15-ohs, and you are going to pass your needle through the fire polish, just keeping the mini duo. Pick up 1 11-oh and 1 fire polish. Your thread is coming out of the fire polish. You are going to sew through the 4mm. Pick up a fire polish and an 11-oh. Your thread is coming out of the 4mm. You are going to sew through the fire polish. And if you can, through the seed beads. And you gotta be very careful with the fire polish, because if you don't pass your needle the right way, you'll break it. So that's what I flip my work. So I'm sewing through the fire polish. Your thread is coming out of the fire polish. We are going to sew through these 3 seed beads. Pull tight. And right now, right here, try to sew through the seed bead, the fire polish, and the mini duo. It's really important, so you try to do it in one pass, because otherwise it's really hard to get through the mini duo. And sometimes this seed bead gets on the way, just put it to the side. Or if you can even try to sew through that one. As you can see, I sew through all of them. You want to try to do that, because otherwise it gets hard to sew through all the beads. And pull really careful. This is what you should have. You are going to sew through one more seed bead. You need to be coming out of the center seed bead, out of the 3 seed beads that we add. You are going to pick up 1 15-oh, and your thread is coming out of this 15-oh. We are going to sew down through the same 15-oh. This is what you should have. Your thread is coming out of this seed bead. We are going to sew up through the 1 seed bead that we just add. and I'm holding it because you want these seed beads to be really tight. You are going to pick up 1/15, 1 mini duo, 1 fire polish, 1 mini duo, 1 fire polish, 1 mini duo, and 3 15-ohs. You are going to bring them all the way down. You are going to sew through all 3 mini duos. You are going to pick up 1 15-oh, and you are going to sew through these 2 15-ohs, through the mini duo, the fire polish, the mini duo, the fire polish. You gotta sew all the way around. So pass through as many beads as you can pass your needle through. And when we pull, this is what you should have. Pull tight. Right now you are going to sew through the mini duo and through the 15. We are going to sew through all 3 15s and through the 3 mini duos. You are going to pick up 1 fire polish, 3 mini duos, and 1 fire polish. And you are going to sew through these 3 mini duos, only through the mini duos. So bring them down. Your thread is coming out of the mini duo. We are going to sew through the fire polish and through 1 mini duo. Pull tight. Your thread is coming out of the bottom hole of the mini duo. We are going to sew through the second hole. We are going to pick up 3 15-ohs. Our thread is coming out of the top hole of the mini duo. We are going to sew through all 3 mini duos. Sew through one more. You are going to pick up 3 15-ohs. Your thread is coming out of the bottom hole. We are going to sew up through the second hole of the mini duo. Pull tight. Pick up 1 fire polish and sew through the next mini duo. pick up one fire polish and sew through the mini duo, and if you can, down through 2 seed beads. My thread is coming out of 1/15. I'm going to sew down through one more. Your thread is coming out of the second 15. We are going to sew down through the second. Right here you can see 3 seed beads. Our thread is coming out of this 15. We are going to sew up through the same one we were coming out of on the other side, and we are going to pull. And when we pull tight, these beads get together. So this is what you should have. We are going to pick up 1/15, one fire polish, and 1/15. Our thread is coming out of this 15. We are going to sew up through these two. This is what you should have. Our thread is coming out right here. We are going to sew down through these two. We are going to pick up 1/15. Our thread is coming out of this seed bead. We are going to sew through the fire polish. And we are going to pull this tight. Pick up 1/15. Your thread is coming out of the fire polish. We are going to sew through these 2 seed beads. And this is what you should have right now. What we are going to do is we are going to reinforce this. So we are going to sew up through these 3. Up through the fire polish. Up through these 3. Since we're reinforcing, we are going to come one more time down through 3, down through the fire polish, down through these 3, pull tight, up through these 3, through the fire polish, and up through these 3 seed beads. You are going to sew up through the mini duo and through the fire polish. And right here, we are going to pick up 3/15 and we are going to sew through the fire polish. And as you can see right here, you're starting to repeat the steps right now. Pick up one 11/0, one fire polish, one 4mm, one fire polish, and one 11/0. A thread coming out of this fire polish, we are going to sew through this fire polish. Pick up 3 15/0s, skip the mini duo and sew through the fire polish. Pull tight. Pick up one 11/0 and one fire polish, and we are going to sew through the 4mm. Pick up one fire polish and one 11/0, and we are going to sew through the fire polish. Like I said, do not force your needle through the beads. Just try to do it really soft, because otherwise you can break your beads. Right here, as you can see, you're going to sew through the 3 15/0s. And right here, like I said, if you can pass through all at one time, sew through the 15, but you gotta pass through the fire polish and through the mini duo at the same time. Otherwise, it gets too hard to do it. Most of the times you can sew through the 15 as well. Sew through 1 15. This is what you should have. You're gonna continue repeating the same steps until you get the length you need for your bracelet. Right now we are gonna add the clasp. So your thread is coming out of the second seed bead. Remember, we weave your thread before continue. If you don't do it it gets too crowded to do it later. So I really recommend to do it before you start adding more beads. Pick up 2 15/0s, and we are going to sew through the 2 across. And this is what you should have. Pick up your clasp, and you are going to sew up through the hole. And you gotta make sure you got it on the right position. Right now we are going to pick up 6 15/0s, and we are going to sew down. We're coming out of this hole. We are going to sew down through this one and through all 6 seed beads. So through these 2, the 2 that we added, and the other 2. So through all 6, and we are going to pull. And right now we gotta fix our beads, because we want these 6 beads to sit on top like that. And right now we are going to reinforce. So sew through the clasp, make sure your 6 beads are on top. Sew through the 6 beads, pull tight, make sure arrange your beads. We want them on top. And we are going to sew down through the clasp, and all we gotta do is reinforce. So you're gonna sew through all these 6 seed beads, So through the other two, up through the clasp, and through the 60 beads again. You can reinforce some more times, and then you can start making knots with your thread and cut it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. My 30,000 subscribers giveaway is coming. I'm really excited about it. So if you haven't subscribe to my channel, like my videos, share them with your friends. Until next time, thank you.